Now, it hasn't been luck that built America into the world's lone superpower. I don't know if those in Washington think that or not. It was the hard work and tireless innovation of men and women with true vision. It's people like you. It'd be easy to say that kind of foresight is in short supplies these days, but it's not. That's not the case. We got great thinkers, new generation of innovators chomping at the bit, but we got them in handcuffs that the federal government has slapped on their wrist. Instead of progress, we have too many empty suits and attorneys in Washington talking about sacrifice. If we're going to continue leading the way, that has got to change, and it's got to change quickly. Bob O'Brien is the stocks editor for Barron's Online. Bob, you know what kills me? Because I run a business. The last person I ask for advice in my company is the attorney, because they're paid to say no.
Of course.
That's who we've got in Washington. A buttload of attorneys telling us how to run our country. And it's not working out well.
It's not working out well. And Glenn, that is absolutely a formula for failure there. When you let a bunch of regulators make decisions about policy that are going to affect particularly pocketbook issues, because there's such a divorce from reality that takes place in Washington, they're not even realizing the impact that some of these some of the conditions are having on your spending power in the rest of the country. So outside the Beltway, there's absolutely no sensitivity to what's going on in America.
Okay, we have, everybody's talking about, oh, well, we better not drill anywhere. In 10 years, it's my understanding that China, if their growth continues at the pace it has in the last 10 years, they will use every bit of oil production that the world is doing right now. They'll use all of it. That would be massive problems for the rest of the world. There will be war for oil in 10 years, and yet we're not doing anything. What should we be doing? How do we get this story across, Bob, to people to say this isn't just a run on, on gas prices this time? We're looking at the future.
Indeed, Glenn, and it's not just a question of production these days. I mean, if you look at the U.S. oil industry, we haven't built a new refinery in the United States in over 25 years. That means an entire generation without adding capacity to that refining operation. The production is less of an issue right now. It's simply coming up with a finished product that you can use in any kind of a coherent manner.
Why don't we stop making different blends?
Well, there are a number of ideas out there that could be considered. I mean, why micromanage some of the details about seasonal blends, for example, and just simply let the consumer select the product that they want to use and that works best for their lifestyle. However, the government has basically decided that it's going to take a very top-down approach to these things and dictate to the oil companies exactly what's going on. So, at the same time, they're not dictating that they ought to be able to build up some refining capacity.
Bob, you told me, I don't know, about a month ago, you said if oil prices are still this high, and they've only gotten higher since we last spoke, if it's this high, July 4th, that's a tipping point. What does that mean?
Well, that means that you're going to be looking at $4 a gallon when you pull up to the pump. That means effectively that that's money that you're not going to be able to spend, whether it's buying some kind of a consumer discretionary item or perhaps even cutting right into your ability to basically...
What does that mean long-term for the economy?
Well, it means that the economy becomes completely the victim of inflationary pressures here, an inflationary pressure that nobody in government is going to be able to try and wean us away from. You're going to start to see inflation moving up 7 to 8% over the course of the year, and that's basically going to be the biggest pocketbook issue that voters are going to face when they head to the polls.
Bob, thanks a lot. We'll talk again coming up.